Imagine your computer as a kitchen packed with all sorts of ingredients, your processor, memory, hard drive, and more. But without a chef, those ingredients just sit there, unused and unorganized. Nothing gets cooked, and you certainly don't get a meal. In the same way, your computer's hardware is just a collection of parts until something brings them together and tells them what to do. That's where the operating system, or OS, comes in. Think of it as the head chef in your digital kitchen, orchestrating every move, making sure each ingredient is used at the right time and in the right way. The OS coordinates all the hardware and software, so your computer actually works smoothly and efficiently. Without an OS, your computer's just an expensive paperweight. It wouldn't even know how to turn on, let alone display anything on the screen or respond to your commands. All those powerful components would be useless, unable to communicate or function together. Every time you press the power button, the OS springs into action. It checks all the hardware, makes sure everything is working, and sets up your digital workspace. It loads the files and settings you need, so you can get started right away, whether you're working, playing, or just browsing. The OS is the foundation for everything you do on your computer. Writing emails, playing games, editing photos, or surfing the web. It's always running in the background, making sure your experience is seamless and enjoyable. It manages both hardware and software, juggling multiple tasks at once. The OS makes sure your apps don't trip over each other, allocating memory and processing power so everything runs smoothly, even when you're multitasking. When you type on your keyboard or click your mouse, the OS translates those actions into instructions the machine understands. It's the invisible translator, turning your intentions into real results on the screen. Over the years, operating systems have evolved dramatically. They started as simple text-based interfaces, where you had to type every command. Today, they offer complex, beautiful graphical environments that are easy to use and visually engaging, making technology accessible to everyone. By understanding the history and role of operating systems, we can appreciate why computers feel so different, even when performing the same tasks. The OS shapes your entire experience, connecting you to the digital world in ways you might not even notice. Before icons and windows, computers greeted you with a black screen. No pictures, no colors, just a blank canvas waiting for your instructions. And at the heart of it all was a blinking cursor, your only guide in the world of MS-DOS, inviting you to type a command and see what would happen next. There was no mouse to point and click, no icons to help you navigate. Everything happened through the keyboard, and you had to memorize a set of commands just to get things done. Want to see what files you had? You'd type dir and press enter, watching as a list of file names scrolled by, each one a potential program or document. To launch a program, you'd type its name exactly, no room for mistakes. Every action was deliberate, and every keystroke mattered. If you made a typo, the computer wouldn't help you fix it. Instead, you'd get a cryptic error message, often leaving you to puzzle out what went wrong on your own. MS-DOS could only do one thing at a time. No multitasking, no switching between apps. If you wanted to do something else, you had to close what you were working on first. Imagine needing a calculator while writing a letter. You'd have to save your work, exit the word processor, run the calculator, finish your math, close it, and then reopen your document to continue. Despite these limitations, MS-DOS was revolutionary. It gave developers a common platform to build on, and offices across the world began to hum with the sound of keystrokes as people learned to master this new digital tool. Its simplicity meant it could run on even the most basic hardware, making personal computers affordable and accessible to millions. This paved the way for the explosion of personal computing in the 1980s and beyond. MS-DOS was just the first rung on the ladder, a stepping stone to the colorful, user-friendly graphical interfaces that would soon transform how we interact with computers forever. In the early 1980s, the world of personal computing was about to change forever. Microsoft, always keen to spot the next big thing, saw the future in graphics, taking inspiration from Apple's revolutionary Macintosh. The Macintosh introduced the idea that computers could be friendly, approachable, and even fun to use, thanks to its graphical user interface. This was a radical shift from the text-based command lines that dominated the era. Back then, early versions of Windows weren't full operating systems. Instead, they acted as graphical shells layered on top of MS-DOS. Users would still boot up to a blinking command prompt, type in cryptic commands, and only then launch Windows by typing Win. It was a bridge between the old and the new, offering a glimpse of what was possible. These first Windows releases were clunky, slow, and often frustrating, but everything changed with the arrival of Windows 3.1 in 1992. Suddenly, the interface was cleaner, more colorful, and much easier to navigate. For the first time, millions of people could point, click, and double-click their way around a computer. Iconic games like Solitaire and Minesweeper made learning to use a mouse fun, while the graphical interface made computers accessible to everyone, not just tech enthusiasts. Windows 3.1 also introduced cooperative multitasking. This meant programs took turns using the computer's resources. But if one program crashed or misbehaved, it could freeze the entire system. Still, it was a step forward from the single-tasking days of DOS. Another breakthrough came with Windows for Workgroups, which brought networking to the masses. Suddenly, sharing files and printers across office computers became simple, transforming how businesses operated and collaborated. Despite its reliance on DOS, Windows 3.1 became a runaway success. It spread rapidly through homes and offices, setting the stage for Microsoft's dominance in the years to come. Windows 3.1 was the crucial bridge between the old world of command lines and the new era of graphical computing. It helped millions transition to a more visual, intuitive way of working. With these foundations in place, the groundwork was laid for the next big leap in personal computing. The desktop era was about to explode, ushering in a new age of productivity, creativity, and connection for people everywhere. August 24, 1995, Windows 95 launches, and computing is never the same. For the first time, Windows and MS-DOS are merged into one seamless experience. The Start button debuts, giving users a clear, simple way to access everything. The taskbar makes multitasking easy. See what's running and switch with a click. Under the hood, Windows 95 brings preemptive multitasking, making crashes less likely to take down the whole system. Plug and Play arrives, promising to make adding new hardware as simple as plugging it in. While not perfect at first, these features set the standard for modern operating systems. Windows 95 was a leap in user-friendliness and power, opening up computers to millions more people. Its design and features are still echoed in Windows today. The PC truly became personal. While Windows 95 ruled homes, Microsoft built Windows NT for business, secure, stable, and crash-resistant. NT was a true 32-bit OS, with advanced security and user management, perfect for offices and servers. It kept rogue programs from crashing the whole system, and let administrators control access across networks. The two worlds merged with Windows XP, combining NT's power with a friendly interface. XP brought features like a built-in firewall and remote desktop, making professional tools accessible to everyone. Product activation arrived to fight piracy. XP's stability and ease of use made it a classic. Many stuck with it for over a decade. It set the gold standard for what a modern OS could be. After the long reign of XP, Windows Vista stumbled with performance issues and annoying pop-ups. Windows 7 fixed the problems, faster, more reliable, and visually polished. Then came Windows 8, aiming for touchscreens but confusing desktop users by ditching the Start menu. Windows 8.1 brought back the Start button, but the real fix was Windows 10. Windows 10 blended the best of 7 and 8, a familiar Start menu with modern live tiles. New features included Cortana, the Edge browser, and virtual desktops. Updates became regular and free, keeping systems secure and up-to-date. Windows as a service means the OS is always evolving. Microsoft's new approach keeps millions on the latest, safest version. While Windows dominated desktops, Unix quietly powered universities, research labs, and the internet's backbone. Unix was built for multitasking and multi-user environments, influencing nearly every OS since. Linux, created by Linus Torvalds in 1991, took Unix's ideas and made them open source, free for anyone to use or modify. Linux's flexibility and stability made it the go-to for servers, supercomputers, and even smartphones. The command line, or shell, gives users powerful control. Automate tasks, manage servers, and chain commands. Linux dominates the server world and powers most of the internet. It's also found in Android phones, smart TVs, and countless devices. While less common on desktops, Linux is arguably the most important OS behind the scenes. Its open, collaborative nature keeps it at the heart of modern technology. Apple's approach to operating systems has always been unique, seamless, intuitive, and tightly integrated with its hardware. From the start, Macs were built for graphics and creativity, pioneering the graphical user interface. In the 2000s, Apple rebuilt macOS on a Unix foundation, combining beauty with industrial-strength stability. This makes modern Macs powerful, secure, and user-friendly, favored by artists, designers, and musicians. Creative software often debuts on Mac, and the clean interface helps users focus on their work. Apple's walled garden means fewer compatibility headaches, but less hardware choice. Security is strong, with vetted apps and built-in protections. You can't build your own Mac, but for many, the trade-off is worth it for reliability and simplicity. macOS remains the go-to for creative professionals who want a polished, hassle-free experience. There's no single best operating system. It all depends on your needs and preferences. Windows is the all-rounder, runs on almost any hardware, supports the most software, and is the default for most users. It's ideal for home, school, business, and especially gaming. macOS is the premium, curated experience, smooth, stable, and beloved by creatives. You pay more, but get tight integration and a beautiful interface. Linux is for tinkerers and power users, free, open source, and endlessly customizable. It powers the internet and is perfect for developers or reviving old hardware. Linux has become more user-friendly, but still rewards those who like to dig deeper. Your choice comes down to what you value: compatibility, design, control, or cost. The best OS is the one that fits your workflow and makes your computing life easier.